Ladies and gentlemen, order in the court. Today's proceedings finds the people versus James McGill.
Legal troubles got you down? Bosses refusing to pay out? Hit and run leave you stunned? Drug lords in your future? Maybe not, because he'll get your case dismissed. He'll get you the defense you deserve, but only if you say the words.
Oh no, legal representation, whatever should I do? Well, I say. Oh wait, I know.
Better call Saul!
So without further delay, let's start judging Saul. Court is now in session.
You will atone.
Hey, when you said, when you said do a bad acting impression on that one bit, you didn't say which bad acting I could do, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. That was a little Tommy Wiseau for you.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I actually have a reason for doing Tommy Wiseau, BlueDragonFive.
Did you meet him?
No, I wish. Well, actually, two reasons. One, his new quote-unquote sitcom came on Hulu Plus, and it is glorious. Two, yeah, I think this is by far the worst episode of Better Call Saul. Like, I wasn't digging this at all. So that's my opinion, just going forward, just putting it out there. I thought that this episode, basically what it did was it just kind of tied up stuff we already knew and didn't really give us anything to move forward or latch onto. And with 3 episodes left, I think that's a big concern for the series going forward. I think, this season has been so mixed in terms of, all the episodes until this one, in my opinion, have been really good. I just don't think we've got an overall narrative going on. But before we get into the recap, do you want to talk about the director and writer really quick?
Yeah, sure. As we kind of go through with these episodes, we kind of highlight some of our Breaking Bad alumni talent, because it seems to be a running thing. We get some great talent from the old show working on this show, and sometimes they change it up. But let's go over see what we got here. See if there's any sort of pattern, a method to the Breaking Bad madness, if you will. So our director is actually a newcomer who you might know. Well, I mean, I don't think you're going to know, but let me run you by her credentials. His or her credentials, 'cause I'm not sure I pronounced his first name. Larsa Kondracki. Now, this person, this director, has directed a Season 5 episode of Walking Dead called The Distance.
Oh, okay.
Is that a good episode, or can you remember?
That's kind of a problem with The Walking Dead, is that, again, this is kind of why I don't like one-word titles, is that one-word titles kind of run together for me. But I will say that Season 5 has been by far, I would say, the strongest season of The Walking Dead, and I think a lot of fans and critics think that way. So for her to do a Season 5 episode, and it sounds like a later one, which is in Alexandria, which has been a really compelling jumpstart to the series, a jump of, a boost of new energy. So yeah, I'd say that's a very good credit to her name.
Okay.
As a Walking Dead fan.
Okay, and we had a familiar writer. We've seen her work on this show before, and she's done a lot of great episodes of Breaking Bad. And I picked kind of some episodes to kind of relate to what the episode's about. We had Jennifer Hutchinson writing this one, and she's written episodes such as Cornered.
Okay, that's honestly one of my least favorites.
No, I thought your least favorite was.
My least favorite is Open House. It is Open House. I gotta say, Cornered would probably be in the bottom 3.
So remind me what the Cornered.
Hey, so this is my least favorite episode of Better Call Saul, so I guess that kind of fits.
Well, I'm sorry. Remind me.
Cornered was the one where it was all about Siler. I was about to say Siler. It was all about Skyler, and she took the. She went to that border where there were the 4 corners between the 4 states, and she did coin toss and stuff.
All right. Well,
and basically the whole episode was just like, oh, is Skyler going to leave Walt? And it was really long and drawn out and boring.
Well, no, what else happened in the episode aside from the Skyler stuff?
That's it. That's the thing. I literally don't remember anything that happened besides the Skyler stuff.
Well, I feel guilty because I did pick this because it did relate to the episode, but it was aside from the Skyler stuff. There was something. I think someone's like they're in a hot spot. Maybe that relates to like our Kelmans being in danger. Maybe.
Could be.
I'm sorry about that. I screwed up on that one. But anyway, so we also have Buyout, which definitely relates to got some got some kind of deals being laid on the table and some Mike Ehrmantraut action because we love Mike.
We love Mike.
And
at this weird angle.
And another one of my favorites, and I'm sure yours, Confessions.
Oh, I love Confessions. Yeah, we've gone on about how much we love Confessions. Most evil moment Walter White's ever had.
And of course, that relates to kind of some negotiations and truths being revealed in this episode. Well, not truths, but discussion of the truth.
The opposite of truth, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or the dancing around truth. But the point is that we had a good writer on this one. So Jennifer Hudson and a newcomer who maybe got the episode wasn't badly directed. It had some really familiar shots they brought back into the fray. I thought it was some nice angles and stuff.
There were a couple angles that I really liked that I noted down. I mean, there were a couple good moments. It's just, in general, I thought this one was just a big slag to get through.
Well, I disagree with that, but I'll admit
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it anyway, so.
All right, so you want to start us off?
Oh, we start with kind of a neat little shot here. We see we pick up where we left off with the whole Mike and Jimmy story of their Mike's being interviewed by some Philly cheesesteaks, as I like to nickname them.
That is what they will always be called from now on, the Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Right, so there's a great shot of the wanted posters. We go down and we see like this wall of wanted posters, and then we kind of pan down. We see Jimmy because, of course, he's among these criminals in a way.
Yeah, it's nice and symbolic and whatnot. You didn't happen to catch any, like, I was looking for maybe a Tortuga or something like that.
Well, it's funny. I tried rewinding and seeing if I could recognize anyone. There's a chance there's definitely some in-jokes there, but, it's kind of funny. Apparently, in the episode where Jimmy has his whole publicity stunt, that guy who's helping on the billboard,
yeah,
he was one of his clients in the montage in the second episode where he's getting all the clients.
Oh wow! Oh god!
So they did see it in there. So again, there's so many great Easter eggs. It's impossible to count all the Easter eggs in this show.
Okay. Okay, so Saul, he's just right away. He's just like, okay, just like last time, I do all the talking.
Like last time.
Yeah, and then the Philly cheesesteaks, they walk in and they're instantly just like, come on, give it back, you son of a bitch, referring to the notebook that Mike stole.
Yeah, so the young gun on this, like a new guy to the force, I believe, he's he seems to be upstanding, and he's obviously the big plot line that was seen last time. Of course, you and I figure this out, just the speculation, because it's really obvious that, okay, well, they're going to realize their notebook is missing, so now they want answers, and they're suspecting, okay, now he knows, and he's laying all the cards on the table. What do you know?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. I mean, they practically put it in the previews, so yeah, we pretty much knew this was coming.
And we see how it pays off.
The episode, I think.
Well, no, we see kind of pays off. Mike has thought all of this through. I'm sure it might pay off like kind of a third kind of capper to this, or maybe bleeds into another story. We'll see. But anyway.
I did like the payoff for this. I did like the very logical explanation that they came up with.
That's what I'm saying.
The explanation was?
Well, first of all, I love Saul just kind of dancing around and saying, my client, my client just found this on the outside there. He's he gets threatening calls from you saying he better come back here, and look, lo and behold, what we find on the street, on the steps outside the place, we find a little notebook, and as Good Samaritan will give it to you. So basically, then he just wants to talk it out, and out of just being friendly and cooperative, and of course they know it's bunk. So they just found the pad outside, and basically, we'll see you soon back in Philly. I don't believe extradition's legal for that presence. Like I don't believe you have the power to extradite someone back to Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole scene kind of reminded me of when Saul was defending Mike when Gomez and Hank are interviewing him. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah. We're talking about the judge that has a soft spot for senior citizens. You know what that judge doesn't like?
Exactly.
Hassling a senior citizen.
Oh my god, great stuff.
Mike's just looking there, eyes glazed over. Anyway, so let's see in a nutshell. after the one hot shot says, hey, I'm gonna get you. He walks away, and then basically the older Philly cheesesteak, the one Mike's more familiar with. Remember, Mike was a beat cop. This guy's a detective, so I assume they have some sort of relationship going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he says, he thanks him for cooperating and bringing the thing back. He says, yeah, I'm sorry about the kid. He's a little overzealous. Yeah, I kind of like him because he likes the fact he's an honest guy, and obviously after all the stuff went down with the son, he respects an honest guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
No, so basically, he's cutting to the chase. He basically knows, I know Mike probably did because a lot of people, other people wanted to see these two guys go down, and you had the most reason. So he's figured all that out, which I really liked. He's smart enough to know, okay, Mike, I know you did. I'm not going to hassle you for it, but let's just work on the story here. So is she going to tell me anything? Could be, might not, because they had that fantastic scene at the end of that last episode we had, where left all over.
And I don't know how much of my dislike of this episode is just like that scene just hanging over everything, and it's just like, oh my god, we're never.
Well, again, we shouldn't count him out on seeing where we go with Mike here. So we should cut Mike some slack until we see what future episodes hold.
I mean, no, Mike was the best part of this episode. Don't get me wrong.
With the story though.
We love Mike.
Yeah, of course we love Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, let's see. So basically, my guess is she wouldn't have much to say, but again, it's up to her. Which I really like. He's leaving it in her hands.
Yeah, and he says, that's the only thing that's fair to her.
Yeah, Mike, we love that guy. Okay, so again, he likes the fact that the kid's honest, but like the older Philly cheesesteak says, he's the kid's honest, but he has to learn some. There are some rocks you don't turn over. So
I love that line.
That is a great line, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we cut to our after that scene. We got to cut to our little glimpse into the Saul. Glimpse to our Saul potential present, even though it's probably in the past.
And it's a memorable thing from Saul, but I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Yeah, it's like I forget it has like a special name, and I feel bad.
Dumb. I feel dumb.
It's a massager.
It.
It's like a little massager of Saul. Vince Gilligan had this thing, so he specifically gave Saul this thing. So basically,
it's like we know so much about the backstory, but we don't know what the actual name.
It has it's like a shuffler. It's like called a shuffler or something, but it's like it's massager. Basically put you sit on the ground, put your feet on, moves your feet around, it like jiggles the lower half of your body and stuff for exercise and massaging. It's really funny. Anyways, it was fun seeing that, and I guess maybe the symbolism is things are getting a little shaky for Jimmy. He's going to need to calm down after the bad stuff happens.
And how it kind of shakes the music. Okay, so let's see. Outside, Jimmy, he's all in a panic. He's like, "Okay, tell me everything about the conversation now, while it's still fresh."
Your safe counts. Basically, he's saying your safe counselor. It's basically, thank you, counselor. You're safe. You're done here. Everything's fine.
I'm trying to protect me. Those Philly cheesesteaks want to lock me up right beside you.
Yeah. And pretty much, okay, we'll send me your bill. Oh, you sure? I sure will send you a bill.
Yeah, you'll get a bill. Okay. So it's an ice delivery at Chuck's house. And I gotta say, I'm really liking Chuck.
Yeah,
I don't see what the criticism is with Chuck.
What criticism?
Well, people, other podcasts have been saying that Chuck doesn't really quite fit into the whole scheme of things. But
no, he fits in big time.
I very much disagree. Yeah, I'm with you. I think he fits in a major way. I think he's going to eventually be the person that maybe leads Jimmy on kind of the path to becoming Saul inadvertently.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of meaty potential here.
Anyway, so I think this might be my favorite. There are a few, whether you agree with the episode, liking the episode or not. I think the element, there are some few standout scenes that are really good in this episode.
This was a good one.
This is
one. There's nothing I can complain about.
This is probably my favorite scene, if not the one later on. But this scene I really liked. So Jimmy's visiting Chuck, and first of all we see, hey Chuck, you around? He's looking upstairs for him. He hears Chuck calling out from outside. What?
But of course, it's always a moving threat whenever we enter Chuck's house. Like, oh God, Nacho's gonna be there.
I think Notch has been on a coffee break these last few episodes.
And that's another complaint I have, but that's kind of more for the general thoughts I have about the episode, so we'll
Anyways,
save that.
I think they're building towards something with that, but we'll get to it. Anyways,
Yeah,
let's see.
we'll see. We'll
So
see.
we see Chuck's outside, and I really love this idea. Okay, now Chuck, after all the trauma he's been through, he's realizing, okay, I can't be just confined to this house. I gotta be proactive in getting better. So he's training himself. This is really a great idea. I love how the dialogue and everything's great in this scene. Of him basically, he's building a tolerance to the the hypersensitive to electromagnetism. So basically, he mentions this again. Chuck's a smart guy. He knows like the history of this sort of stuff, and there actually is a thing where it's like kind of slow exposure to poison to build up a tolerance, or like an immunity to a disease or something. Slow exposure to it. Jim says, "Is that a real thing?" Yeah, it's a real thing. So basically, he knows there's like a generator down the block or something. So basically, he stays out there. So it's a far enough distance. He's getting enough. He's balancing his mind out so he can cut down the symptoms, and he's up to 2 minutes now, which is very impressive. And he's hoping to be by more time, by like Friday or something.
Yeah, he said like by the I think he said something like at the start of the week he could barely stand 30 seconds.
Yeah, now he's up to 2 minutes, which is very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like this idea. I kind of like where they're going with this whole Chuck thing, where it is all very much in his head. And I think at this point he's kind of acknowledging it, and so he's kind of like mentally playing around with that, and sort of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna prove to myself that it's safe. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like the direction we're headed here.
And also, you get some good stuff here. He's again, he needs to be he learned he has to get better, and he needs to. This is important. He says he needs to be useful again.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was a good line. I just love this. Such a simple, happy moment of Jimmy's just so taken off guard by this, and he's so proud of him. Really nice.
Okay, now here's a little bit of speculation that some people have had that I'll bring up. Do you think that in the back of his head, even subconsciously, Jimmy is kind of doesn't want Chuck to get better because he wants the buyout from HHM?
That's interesting. That
I'm not the one that's thinking that. I'm just saying that's something that people have been talking about.
That's interesting, but I think he's going to want his brother to get better no matter what.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just think like maybe like in the back of his mind, he's kind of like, well, that's great, but man, that HHM buyout. I don't know.
Well, we might, for all we know, we get in like kind of a climactic kind of Rice-y moment with Saul at the end of this season. For all we know, he uses his brother, and that's the big consequence going into the next season. He used his brother, and he feels terrible about it.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
We'll see.
Anyway, so let's see. So again, he's so proud. And this is interesting. This moment, I want you to know how you interpret this moment. So, he says he wants to leave some boxes of files from all his clients at the house where they'll be safe. Chuck's saying, "Oh man, these are all from your clients. You're doing that good." Yeah, it was just it's just for a while. So just some like 513s.
Mm-hmm.
So this is important. So then he leaves. Chuck, they're both proud of each other, both happy for each other. Jim leaves, and he looks in there, and it was important. He's looking through the window. I presume to look at Chuck kind of eyeballing the files. So, what do you interpret that as?
Well, actually, there's a couple interesting things here. One of the things you didn't mention was the fact that Jimmy gets it's actually a 514, I think, not a 513.
Right. Yeah, he says the correction.
And then he says, like, oh, those elders, I'm getting dementia. Dementia's rubbing off on me. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And also, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just maybe at this point Saul is just still kind of worried that Chuck doesn't quite trust him after the incident with the newspaper and everything like that. So that's kind of what I took it as.
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of on that same thought process there. Here's what I'm thinking. Perhaps Jimmy's really not doing as good business as he's saying. That's maybe why he got the number wrong for a moment there. He's still probably just starting out with it. He's building trust with the clients at the moment with the old folks, which we'll see. And I don't think he's to the successful level he's saying. Because remember, he has all the cash to actually fund his seeming seeming success at the moment. That comes into play big time later on. So the point is, I think he for all I know, those are either like just some spare files they had around, or just completely blank for all we know. I'm
Right.
thinking he's putting theirs to put confidence in him through his brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
So
Huh.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering. My only problem with that potential is like again, I don't know if they're blankers, like so the only files he has, he's keeping them there. Because like
That could be. That's also another good theory.
it could be a question of like would Chuck be nosy enough to pry into and read the files, and he
Well,
probably
how about
knows.
the question to that is, have we seen Jimmy's sleeping quarters in the nail salon this episode? Did we ever go there?
Yeah, we go there.
Okay, so is he literally sleeping on files?
Well, I mean, I believe there are. I think there are. I can't remember. I think there are a bunch of files, but it wasn't like to the like excess he was talking about. Though there are files around the place. It might have just been figure of speech. I don't know.
Okay,
I
okay.
think regardless, he just wanted to put him there just to make his brother feel better. So whether they're real or not, I'm saying he put him there to make his brother feel better. Question is like, how desperate is he? And also, and here's another
I
idea.
don't necessarily think he's desperate, though.
Well, I mean desperate in terms of like he's still starting out desperate. Like he's not desperate after he has the cash at the moment. So I'm
Okay,
saying,
but like, yeah, this is interesting though, going into the next scene because the next scene he's buying an office space,
exactly.
so
I mean,
he
he's
does
not.
have the cash.
No, I mean, he's not desperate. Yeah, he has the cash. I mean, like in terms of getting the business. I mean, he's not. But later on, he will be desperate without that money. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So I mean desperate for clients, not desperate for not desperate for cash.
And I guess that's another one of my complaints, like not you know what, it's kind of funny because my complaints about this episode are overall sort of more complaints about the series as a whole. But one of them is just the fact that like Jimmy starts out in a place of like really bad financial decline, and I feel like we just reached a solution to that way too easily.
Well, I think no. Here, that's interesting. I think by the end of this episode, we're going to kind of go back to where he was at the beginning. But again, we'll
You
get
think
to that.
so? Okay.
That's what I truly, and I think this is kind of building towards that in terms of again, we don't know like there's just empty files or like blank files or not.
Right.
And also another idea is perhaps he's just trying to make his brother feel better by leaving him some files he may peruse. Maybe that's why he's looking in on them too. Like, hey, maybe if there's are real files, hey, he can look in and get some, and make himself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's see. Or just like, hey, I want him to be proud of me. He's looking at the files, and I feel good about myself. Maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so meanwhile, speaking of the building, so we get Jimmy and then Kim Wexler. They're at this really nice building, and they're going up there and they're looking at really like a whole floor, of offices and stuff. And he's planning to invest in himself. And like she's asking, like, what about the nail salon? See, I'm going for a clean. I love that she's bringing up the nail salon because of course he's still probably gonna need the nail salon.
I think she's kind of more talking to the audience in that moment.
I don't know because I think the nail salon he still currently is off. I think it's just seeding in that hey, the place is still going to be around. Actually, no, you're right. I think it's a
Well, because we as the audience, we love the idea of the nail salon. So
sure. Remember, he does mention like, yeah, maybe I'll still visit the place, which of course he will. He'll be trying like to sell the place
yeah, exactly.
to Jesse Pinkman.
Oh god.
Okay, so let's see. So he's trying to go
Still
for.
need to see that laser tag.
I want to see that laser tag so bad. I can't wait for that to drop. I hope it drop. I want to drop the first season, but probably the next season. But still, I can't wait.
We'll see.
It'll probably be next season. I'll bet you. Anyways, let's see. So they go up to this whole floor of offices, really big space. And there's like there's like a no. I can't understand my own notes here. Like there's a no acid zone closet.
I heard that. I don't understand what that means.
I think that means like the nail salon you would use acid to eat through. Like
okay. That
I
makes sense.
assume
That makes sense.
very
That makes
very
sense.
light acid
Yeah.
to eat through like paint. Anyway, so let's see. Also, he mentions like you should use like a Cracker Barrel choir, a chair. Usually
Yeah. Rocking chairs all around.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't. I don't know. I was in a rush to write this, I guess.
No, it's all good.
The point is, so it was like Kim like threw out some funny suggestions, like the Cracker Barrel chairs to cheapen the office, and that really funny.
Oh, it'd be a good idea. Market to the seniors.
Again, I'm liking Kim Wexler more each episode.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Anyways, then basically say, hey, you really deserve this. You do, Jimmy. So we see another office, and he says, who's this office for? Are you looking at this office for yourself? No, I'm more for my partner. Who's that? You, maybe. And this seems really sweet to me. And she's saying, well, listen, thanks, but, I'm close to being a partner at HHM.
Sweet, but I feel like it's repetitive at the same time.
Well, no, they're building towards I think they're showing that these two are friends. I think I'm not sure how the...
I'm just saying we've heard this whole conflict of like, oh, you should leave HHM, but I have a lot invested in it. I don't know, to me that's just getting a little stale to me.
I think it will pick up if we see an ugly side of Howard Hamlin towards her, which we did get a glimpse at this episode.
We did.
I think they are building towards something with that, so I'm going to give them some credit on that one.
Okay.
So anyway, I think you're just kind of, it's a bit of a reminder too. They just got to remind, hey, why doesn't you just go with Jimmy? Well, she's with HHM. And, I like how her reasoning for this. I literally owe them, and I owe them.
That's true. That's
Give me my start, plus I probably owe them some back, kind of like, not student loans, but you know what I mean.
Also, you didn't mention the name of Jimmy's desk.
Again, I wrote it down.
It's a Coco Bolo desk.
Yes, Coco.
He doesn't even know what it means. He just likes saying it. Coco Bolo.
I feel stupid because I wrote it down. My C's look like G's for some reason.
If they stick with the O theme of naming the episode titles, I want Coco Bolo to be an episode title in season 2.
That'd be great, but again, I don't think we're going to be going back to this office too frequently, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, Coco Bolo is a really funny gag. Okay, anyway, so this is funny. So after the offer, again, really sweet scene. Again, the big thing I love about this dynamic is just after she says no, he doesn't harp on it. She says, okay. No, I get it. Okay. That's what I love most about this dynamic. Just they talk about these things. They're still friends at the end of it. Really nice. Like no kind of prissy Skylar thing of like, oh,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're not giving me an answer. I'm going to scold you for a few days.
Oh God.
Really stupid. Anyway, so then off screen, really funny ender to the scenes. Like she's like saying, "Oh, you have a stainless steel kitchen. Wow." Okay, so transitioning from the Kettlemans to the Kettlemans. Okay, Kim and the Kettlemans talking here.
Kettleman!
So pretty much Kim kind of laying out what was established, I believe, an episode or two ago that after Kettleman's little story about what happened after they got a certain call from Jimmy.
Kettlemans, you're in danger! They're after your money!
Yeah, after all that business and after that was all settled, that pretty much Kim saying, "Hey, listen, we're not doing good right now for a favorable verdict." So I mean, it's looking bad. But we're trying to ease up how severe the impact is here. So pretty much because they mentioned like we're going to need to hire PR guys and stuff for this couple because obviously their story holds very little water. So pretty much, we've starved off the arrest. That's pretty much the best we could do, and basically working on a deal right now.
And Betsy Kettleman, that is her like go-to naughty word. She does not like to hear the word deal.
Yeah, she hates the word deal. Does she mention OJ, or is it Kim who mentions OJ?
I think she mentions OJ.
Yeah, like she's again the Kettlemans are. The Kettlemans are the dumbest people on the planet. They're like mentioning
Betsy would be like so terrible playing Deal or No Deal.
I think it's funny. I think they just like made it more comedic, but they've put all the it's like you have a great character like Kim Wexler, who is basically the anti-Skylar, and you take all your Skylar and early Marie stuff, you combine in a blender, and you pour it on this Betsy Kettleman, and basically she's like a more like comedic fourth wall version of that. It's like she's pointing, female characters could be like this, but then they're pointing at how silly she's being, by Jimmy's pointing at how dumb these people are. So I think it's basically these two are just kind of a combination of all the bad qualities of Breaking Bad just put into a comedic light, which I think is really funny.
I guess that's true. That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
So the point is like like do an episode or two ago they bring up like they think it's like slavery, like they're like slavery used to be illegal. Yeah, right. This is exactly right. Slavery.
Yeah, clearly not the most favorable thing you want to be comparing yourself to.
I forget the line she says like you're treating us like OJ, or like we're not. It'll make him look guilty like OJ Simpson or something. I don't know, something like that. But the point is, she named OJ Simpson, was just ridiculous. Not all the same thing. So pretty much they're stacking charges which could land Craig Kelman, specifically Craig Kelman, that could land him 30 years in jail, which is not good. So so the DA wants to DA Kim is they spent all this time kissing the DA's butt, pretty much, kind of convincing the DA to avoid all the press and stuff. So basically, give Craig Kelman about 16 or 18 months at I think it's 16 months at a county jail, and the return of the $1.5 million. And again, she doesn't like this deal at all. Like, there's no money. There's no money, and there are murderers and rapists, and they had no money.
Oh yeah, I love the continued murderers and rapists.
Again, the point is the Kettlemans are Kettlemans. They're the
Kettlemans.
The Kettlemans are really the dumbest criminals we've seen in Breaking Bad. We've seen Skinny Pete and Badger.
Yeah, you're right. Skinny Pete and Badger could run circles around these folks.
At least Badger tried making meth, you know? He tried.
Helicopter, bitch!
Oh, God. So the point is, again, Kettleman's not too smart in this. So again, in a nutshell, this basically plead guilty, get half a year in jail, or decades. That was your option.
It's a year and a half in jail, not half a year.
Oh, sorry, I think I'm bad handwriting.
Months.
Right. Sorry, I misread the thing. It's a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about a year and a half in jail. I mean, it's tough, but you know, you're tough people, and I like that. You know, Kim's.
No, they're not. But, yeah, but way to save face, Kim. Good job.
Yeah, also, I love that she points out, like, you know, do it for your kids. Again, she really cares about these kids, and from the beginning, she's like, well, you know, they have kids. You know, they don't want them to be in danger or anything.
Right.
Danger.
Oh, sorry. Kettleman, you're in danger!
Okay, before we wear that thing, let's keep going. So anyway, so basically saying, hey, your family, I mean, it's tough, but you're, again, just trying to be nice about it. So, hey, you're tough people. I mean, your family is worth it. And then just instantly, Kettleman's, they do something very stupid. Says, well, you're just, it's so funny just how instant it is, though, is that you're fired. Like, what? Then this is a funny cut to me. Just Howard Hamlin just trying to smooth these people as they're walking.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And so we get to see a bit of Hamlin desperate, which I like. Which we got a glimpse of that one episode in the hospital. So Hamlin says he's trying to schmooze them, and no luck. Pretty much saying, you know, no, we're not talking this over. You know, she's fired. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jimmy's at bingo.
Oh, 70. Oh yeah, 70 is a good age.
Okay, you know, we heard some bells. We heard some bells. It might be some foreshadowing. At the very least, it's a little insider reference to Mr. Salamanca. You know it has to be.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I really love the touch of he has his Nita Will, Call McGill bingo cards. So I love this idea. He's the one hosting this bingo. Really funny, and that gives us our episode here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have, and this is important. This lady's coming back our next episode. Remember. So we have this little old lady who wins bingo, and you know, she loves cats, and she calls them, like, you know, there's Oscar and there's Felix.
Oh God!
Which, by the way,
Felix cleans himself, but Oscar, oh no, he can't. All right, that's a fascinating story. And I love how she wins the cat notebook. I love how the prizes are so pathetic.
I love it. Just Jimmy's he's really doing a good job, kind of psyching the people up and everything, and then just leave.
Yeah,
what prize we got for him? A little cat notebook. Okay, who wants this? Oh, I love cats. So remember, that lady's gonna have a big role next episode, and and by the way, just the Oscar Felix reference made me laugh because I do enjoy The Odd Couple.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's see. So then we get kind of the secretary gag coming back, which is a really funny runner, by the way. Of just like, law offices of James Meal, how may I direct your call?
Yeah.
So anyway, so then we see the Kettlemans want to talk to him again, and they're back at that same cafe, a very prominent cafe in Breaking Bad, where Mike have their late night dinners and stuff. So anyway, so the Kettlemans they want him to represent them with conditions. So again, the Kettlemans are trying to show that they have some hand in this situation, which they don't do properly until the end. So also, there's a really funny subtle gag in this scene where basically the waitress comes over with the coffee, and basically the Jimmy and Mrs. Kettleman they brush them up, and then Craig wanted somebody's. It's so stupid. It's so silly. I mean, not stupid. It's just so silly to me. I just love it so much. Hey, they get a coffee. So anyway, so the end throughout, just in a nutshell, throughout the scene, they're saying, we are, as Jimmy's just talking about, strategies and stuff here, and well, they're begging him to take their case. Essentially, he said, we were done with this Wexler, and we remember you wanted to take our case. You said you'd fight tooth and nail for us, all day and night. Basically, we're not guilty. So, well, and we're sorry about last time. We were a little brutally honest here, and it basically turns them down. Obviously,
I love how they laugh that off. They're just like, oh.
again, these people are the dumbest people to walk the Breaking Bad universe.
In a great way.
Yeah, in a funny way. I'm just saying they're so in denial. It's ridiculous. Anyways, Jimmy turns them down smartly. He turns them down. Then this bit, then it starts to take a sinister turn. He says, "Well, we paid you a retainer." He says, "Retainer." Remember, because they turned him down for the retainer after he brought that option up.
Right. Ridiculous. They specifically said that they did not want a retainer.
Exactly. So then Jimmy gets a call, and Jimmy formally excuses himself to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he makes a call in the bathroom.
Because he had a big gulp on the way over.
Yeah, I wrote that. Again, why? I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. My handwriting is really bad this episode. I don't know why. I was in a real... I know, even though we're late, I was in a hurry to write this.
Well, it was all my fault that we were late. So
the point is my fault the handwriting. So, yeah, you're right. The big gulp one is pretty funny. They're in the bathroom, which I think just summarizes Jimmy to a T. Like he's the guy making the call in the bathroom where everyone's still doing their business around them.
And then I love his opening line to Kim. I found something that belongs to you.
Again. Really funny. Oh, God. Again, I love Kim Wexler. She's good. And she's legitimately acting her heart out here saying, please, listen, Jimmy, I know this is going to be a rough thing to ask here, but I really need these guys back. So basically, can you extend to them the deal I extended to? Because they can't do better. I mean, I've been working on this DA for months. For like weeks or something. Anyways, basically, she legitimately asked Jimmy as a friend to either sway him back to her side or get him to take the deal. Well, it's get him back to her side and take the deal, which would be the only way they go back to her. Right. So Jimmy, being an upstanding guy, like Kim's his buddy, he goes and do it.
And then he basically just like, oh, mysteries of the bladder.
So basically, now he knows what the deal is. He's trying to extend it. They said they can't. He says he can't take the case, and you should go to Kim Wexler. And I really love to have throughout the episode, he's persistent. You should apologize to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he's a really stand-up guy for her. He really does care. That's when he say. That's why he offers so much. He really does care about her. Mm-hmm. And let's see. So pretty much they say they want to be exonerated of the crimes. Like, no, we can't make a deal. He's not guilty. And then I love this moment. This moment again, one of the great moments.
Let's parachute down from Cloud Cuckoo Land.
So they basically drop the crazy, and then they talk. So there is someone. I just want to lay this out here so I know what we're talking about. There is money. Okay, we had a little tug of war over it, et cetera, et cetera. We had a little tug of war over it. It went everywhere. So basically, here's what you're going to do. Here's the smart move. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to apologize to Kim Wexler. You're going to take the deal. And then they kind of pulled their power card here, which we did see in that promo, which got us talking. There needs to be a full account. This is like Betsy Kelvin trying to... Again, she is kind of the half a brain of the outfit, I guess.
Yeah.
And again,
Craig is just no brain at all. No brain
Craig's just the guy who took the money. That's about it. Anyway, so again, Betsy's just... she's just the... She's now pulling her sinister card, even though it's really just... They are stupid. I want to point that out. They are very, very dumb with this continually saying, we didn't take any... There is no money. They sound like morons. But then they're pointing out, like, hey, there has to be no money. Like, kind of a sinister angle to it now. So there needs to be a full accounting. Even if we were to take that deal, there need to be a full accounting of the money. And basically, I love this.
Yeah.
You got to make Craig Kelvin. He did steal this. He stole these diner scenes, getting him with the coffee and him in this scene. He doesn't do a lot, but when he does it, it really works. She basically, after she makes her kind of her ambiguous blackmail threat, Craig says, there needs to be a full accounting of it. And then just a moment passes.
Oh, that includes the 37. The 30.
Yeah, well, we got it. They just them both say. It's like if she were like a classic mom, she was slapping upside the head. Yeah, we know. So
could have had a V8.
Oh, we do find out. So it was $30,000 again. I thought it was like $20,000. It's $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they ended their blackmailing, which is not good for Jimmy. So we see Jimmy and Howard. They're hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Making sure, making sure. So meanwhile, we're back at I guess we're at HHM, and he's getting the files.
Mm.
He's getting the Cattleman files, and I love this.
Cattleman files.
So we got Howard
Yeah.
kind of showing his true colors here. That Jimmy is showing how I think he's being all nice about it. So again, the really good actor in Howard as always, just kind of really easing you into like.
Again, Last Exorcism, good role for him. I know you don't like horror movies.
I'm just saying, Howard Hamlin, he does even when he's being evil, he doesn't really strike me as a bad guy, even though he's doing really bad things.
Yeah.
So basically, Jimmy's collecting the files on the Kellens because he has to take them no matter what now, even though he doesn't want to. He wants to give them to Kim. It's the right thing to do. Anyway, so he's pointing out, well, where's Kim? This is all the files in her office. Where is she? Oh, yeah, to move her office. Well, wait, she's in the cornfields? I love this, the nickname, the cornfields.
They call it the cornfields. Yes, they do. And why did you move them in there? Move her in there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Now Jimmy just points out he cuts through the BS with Howard. He knows this guy. We get a sense he knows this guy. I would love to see some flashbacks of him getting it first, like when he first meets Howard Hamlin. I'd love to see that, by the way, like season 2.
Yeah.
Bonus says like, hey, look, there's no need to punish her. Okay, it's not her fault. And then pretty much Howard's not having it. Just get the files and go, Jimmy. And anyway, so then he says, yeah, you're sure gonna. This is really kind of a funny. It shows you how petty Howard can be sometimes. He says, there's a lot of files. Could use a hand getting down there. Yeah, he sure could.
Yeah, that's evil. That's
hey,
just
you sure are going to need
there.
some help getting them down there. And then we get a really great callback to our, I believe, first episode of Jimmy going down the elevator and stuff with all those boxes, like a little dolly. A lot of boxes. And basically, really great shot. Really works the exact same way. He goes at it. Basically, the shot where he's destroying the trash can. And we pan, like we zoom out, I guess, to see Kim on the side.
Right.
Really neat. And we see it in the parking garage. You know, she's like still talking to him about the whole Kelman matter. So yeah, the Kelmans are nuts.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
You know, I tried my best, and I love that Kim's giving some actual advice here. Look, I tried. I know you tried, Jim, and I thank you for it. You know, it's a loser case, though. I mean, the deal was the best I could offer him.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you go to court with this, you're going to lose. I mean, it's impossible to win, which I think is definitely some see it in for the end of this season. So I mean, something definitely big. It's coming our way with her saying, you know, if you go to court with this, you're going to lose. And again, we know the series premise of like this is the last guy who wants to be in a courtroom.
Yeah, but you don't think the Kettlemans are just done after this episode? Because I kind of got that impression.
I don't know. With lines like that, it makes me think there might be if something goes wrong, and then they're going to have to go to trial. Stuff like line like that makes me think they might be doing more with it, but we'll see. Again,
Okay.
The next episode has kind of a misleading title if they continue it or not.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see. So basically, check. Gotta be.
Well, we hear that Kim's 2-year plan essentially became a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I remember. He says like he needs we got to find some like. Basically, the only loophole he could find is like he needs the money. Yeah, basically, you know, check the big. There's gonna be there'd be a big trial. You gotta, if you want to avoid that, you gotta find some loophole, which would be the money. That'd be the only loophole, I guess, if you found.
It's the only card they have to play, and they refuse to play it.
Yeah, and there's no money, according to them. Which obviously,
I know lawyers aren't supposed to say that the clients are guilty, but fuck it, I'm not their lawyer. They're guilty as sin.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we're at the the nail salon at night. He's doing a little bit of research. I do like the overhead shot that we get here.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's just like it's kind of like the last shot of the series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we always say that when we get to the set, which really like.
Right. And then he gets up and he grabs a box, and the box has
the remaining cash.
Yeah, the remaining cash from the Kettleman.
So the remainder of the 30,000, and we'll see. I'll speculate on what happens with the rest of it. But so let's see. After this, so after he grabs the remaining cash and he's mulling over his options, then we see good old Mike. Mike.
Mike, yeah.
We love that guy. Anyway, so Mike is kind of doing his classic Mike thing with doing the fantastic with the mundane, using his skills.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He's putting like a stack of cash on like the back of a toy car, where obviously the kids would see. Mr. Kettleman, he takes a look at it, and then they freak out. I love just seeing this from Mike's POV, and him like in full stick out. He's eating some apples, and he's just listening to a
He has like a whole row of apple cores that he's eating.
I really love that. Just again, the Mike Earthtrats. I love the mundanity of Mike. He's the guy doing 9 to 5. This is what he does best. He's just waiting there, which implies he's done stuff like this before. Is what it implies.
Mm. He's listening to what I'm assuming is a local ball game on the radio.
Yeah, something like that. And anyway, so I love just watching the action unfold through the big glass house. It's literally like a glass house almost.
It really is, yeah.
I'm saying at the very least they're really
shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah, really good symbolism there. At the very least, if it's not a glass, it's really glass windowy. They can see
exactly. Yeah.
So let's see. So the Kelvins, pretty much like it's like a dollhouse almost. It's like that one side of the dollhouse with like all the rooms exposed almost.
Exactly. Right.
So anyway, we see. I love how we kind of know all the action going on, just seeing it unfold. So the Kelvins are asking the kids. I love how you put the pieces together as Mike's just staking out the place. So after they go to bed, after they will do a little bit of panic, they check the money, and of course Mike just sees one of them runs upstairs frantically, so it's upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So now nighttime happens. Mike goes to the house with the black light, and I love again such a brilliant plan. Leave some cash out there, makes them think they left it somewhere, so they put it back in there, and they've left the trail now. Mike picks up on the trail with the black light, finds fingerprints. A lot of really good sequence. He finds the rest of the money. Great detective work. He delivers it to Jimmy, and Jimmy thanks him, and this is great. So Jimmy takes a bunch of money, he adds it to the pile along with the other, other remainder of the 30,000.
All right. So now are we square?
Yeah, we're square. Also, before that, he says "What are you doing? The right thing."
Yeah.
He says so tiresome, the right thing. I
love
these
it. People.
Yep. And he says, "Yeah, we're square." And so that's his payment for Mike.
Yeah.
So then we cut to now we're at the Kelman's house, and Jimmy's there because he's taking their case, quote unquote. And they're gracious because I'm so glad you have news about the case. So then
Mr. McGill's here. He shows up like a favorite uncle.
Oh God! Right. Remember, he calls himself Uncle Jimmy in front of the kids. That
one. Oh God, that's true. I wasn't even thinking
that. So anyway, so we get a really good scene here where basically he suggests they check on the money. He says, the money's not here. There's no money. No, I mean the money under the sink. And then they freak out. They go upstairs and check it out.
There's no fictional money that you saw and we gave you a part of?
Again, these people are deluded. It's like, if you thought Buzz Lightyear was deluded, these people are far more deluded.
Oh God.
I'm saying this is like more deluded than Toy Story 2 deluded Buzz.
Wow,
that's what I'm saying.
Pretty bad.
I'm saying the point where Woody has to be some sort of royal to snap him out of it or something. Anyway. I'm detracting here. So the point is, I love how this is staged. By the way, is Jimmy's sitting there getting comfy because he knows that Jimmy's in control of this scene. I love this, and we just see the action unfold around him while he's just sitting there. Then going upstairs and saying, "Where is it?" And he's just waiting there.
Oh yeah. He's just like, oh God.
And this is great. Just where is it? By it, you mean? Basically, what do you? So we have the money now. Okay. Yeah, this scene was really great. This is how in control Jimmy is. Basically, this is one of those moments we've gotten so far where this is the closest he's going to probably, at least as far as we can see at this point, he's going to be able to get to a Heisenberg moment.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
Essentially, this is the moment where Walter's just waiting inside the last name of Gretchen and Elliot. Last name.
Schwartz.
I keep thinking. I don't know. I must have left it as a Christmas story. I don't know. Anyway, this point is he's in the Schwartz's house, just waiting for something. By it, you mean so confident?
Oh, that's a great shot. Yeah.
So basically,
this with the Schwartz was honestly probably my favorite part of the finale. Everything from that shot to then the Badger and Skinny Pete stuff.
Anyway, so let's see. So then basically, now they want answers, and then Jimmy's telling them. Where's the money? It's on its way to the DA's. By now, it's on its way to the DA's desk. What did you do? Well, how did you do that? Or how'd you get the money? A good magician never reveals his secrets.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And we will. This. Oh god, this slide. If you thought the Kettlemans couldn't get any dumber. And I love how Jimmy just instantly calls it. Now he has all the cards. He doesn't have to be polite with him anymore. He's just going to call him out for all this stupidness. Furnace says, "We will have you arrested." Think about that, Betsy. Can you really have me arrested? Again, this is his Heisenberg moment from the last episode.
It really is, yeah.
Like, think about that. We can't arrest him. You can't arrest me because you're a criminal. You can't have me arrested because you're criminals. And he calls back to Nacho's plan, by the way, mentioning like, you can't. Oh yeah, I forgot the term again. Remember that, like, there's that term, like, you can't do no recourse. That's it. Like, we have no recourse for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you steal from people who can't call the cops on you, hence they have no recourse. So here's
exactly. Yeah, right.
Now Jimmy's calling the shots, saying you're going to go back to Kim Wexler and you're going to apologize, and we'll tell. You're going to go back to Kim Wexler, beg, apologize, and you're going to take the deal. This is, well, we'll tell them you were involved. And it basically says,
hey, you can do that. Go right ahead.
Yeah, you can do it. Go right ahead. You want to take us through it.
Well, he's basically like, but if you do that, then you're guilty too. Then I love how Craig is just like, no, she's not. No, she's not.
So then we get also through the discussion. I think it's like just they settle on, like, the Kelvins are weighing their options there, and presuming for the kids that Betsy has to stay out of prison, so it's not both of them. Because obviously if everyone's going down, then she's going down too, which means the kids will be with that parent. So it's not an ideal option. So at least the Kelvins are smart enough to realize, well, they need a parent, whether the parent be dumb as a brick or not.
So at least Betsy's the one with half a brain. So
well, I know, even though she's the one with half the brain, she's the one with the problems. She's a lot like Marie in terms of, like, just being in denial. Man, she is like a mix
of Marie and Skylar's worst personality traits.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I just read that. That is a really apt description. I'm realizing now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. So then Jimmy has probably the best line of the episode. He says, "You should know, Sonny, I have nothing to lose." Like, next time you try it, next time you deal with me, you should know I have nothing to lose.
It's almost like a thesis statement for the series.
Exactly. I think it's going to be why he's such a good lawyer, because he has nothing to lose. In terms of, like, he seeks every opportunity because he has nothing to lose, which makes me really fearful that Chuck's one day the only thing he has to lose, and Kim. The only people he has to lose, really, they're going to be going. So
and they're expendable.
Yeah. And if you look, kind of read into Jimmy and the Saul character, like, he surrounds himself by potentially expendable people.
Very true.
Think about it. All the people in his life are expendable. He has nothing definite until his relocation, ultimately, which still leaves him alone.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay.
Anyway, so we see the Kettlemans are desperate fools, yada, yada, yada. We have a great little homage to our trash can shot.
Oh yeah.
And then basically this is a great shot. Jimmy, Kim's just waiting there, and Jimmy brings him in the car, like they're meeting in the car, basically ushering him into the office. Comes in the car. We have the great elevator shot. Oh, you gotta admit, this is a beautiful shot.
This is probably my favorite moment in the episode, all of it.
Basically, kind of like she just says, thank you. As the doors are closing, Kelvin's look defeated, like, oh, been foiled, stymied. Looking all sad, and then just the doors are closing. That similar shot that they were closing on Jimmy before. It's funny, like, a door is closed on the Kettlemans now instead of closing on Jimmy. So Jimmy is sought an opportunity, even though it's going to put him out. And then just Kim saying, like, thank you, so sincerely. Again, really great actor, that Kim Wexler.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Doors close, and then speaking of a door closing, we got another great door-related shot. I love the ending. So if the Chuck scene wasn't my favorite, this scene's probably my favorite. I really like this scene.
I just didn't get it.
Oh, it's simple, Tiki. I'll explain it to you, but let's go through it first. Okay, so basically, Jimmy is now...
Why is he so frustrated?
I was so frustrated because now, to my understanding, and believe me, I could be wrong about this, but I think I'm pretty right about this. Let me explain. So obviously, he needs to account for all that money, right?
Uh-huh.
He needs the 1.5 mil. So with that, that means, okay, so the Kettleman's money is going towards that, and of course $30,000. He spent stuff on it, right? He's bought some suits, he bought the billboard, right? He did all that accounting work. So my understanding is that he's going to compensate for that loss as much as he can with the money he got from the legitimate means, from the clients.
Okay.
And anything around it, all that money the Kettleman's getting literally has to go back to him. So I'm assuming, like, he he was like saving that money on the side for like when he was going to delve into it for The Office.
Oh, okay. I hear
Stuff.
you.
Like that was like his first big dip into the funds with that Office, is my assumption.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary said, "This is the stuff I built." For all I know, and the way I interpret it is that he's going to be back to our season, or not season, to our first episode where he's in real desperate straits because now for all we know, he could be more in the hole than ever. At the very least, he's lost that $30,000 he's building his capital on.
I would hope so because I was kind of disappointed that I thought that cash was really convenient. So now I'm glad that it's having ramifications.
So I'm gonna speculate that this whole episode, especially the losing of the money, is kind of our not connection, but our quote-unquote, not our quasi, the fifth episode Breaking Bad, the one with the Schwartz's first appearance. Was it the fifth?
Gray Matter?
Yeah, Gray Matter. It's the Gray Matter episode. Like, basically.
Well, hey, that was the worst episode of season 1.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, remind me with Scott, there was beef, wasn't that one? Again,
I don't know. All I know is that episode had established a lot. It was pretty much a good thesis statement for Walter White, but it was slow as hell.
Anyway, so it's similar in that basically an instant solution is provided, and our character does something that really kind of defines the rest of the course of the series.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's similar to this episode. So basically, the ending's like Jimmy, he's done the right thing. Of course, the cost is now he's back to square one or more in the hole than he was before. So the point is, he had everything in his grasp, and he's in that room, literally the room he could have had. Everything he could have wanted, everything he could have had. He could start a legitimate business. He just kicks that door in, and we see him start to break down. He just kicks the door, and we don't even see him fully freak out. Just hear it off screen. So poor Jimmy is really sad. All that progress down the drain.
And then he gets a phone call.
Yes, and that's a great moment too. He just gets that call at the end. We just hear him call like law offices of, and basically he's so destroyed. We see great acting on Bob Odenkirk here. He's like absolutely destroyed. This is almost it's not his Ozymandias moment. I'm thinking more like his Jane moment. This is like his Jane.
Dare say it's his
I know it's not. I'm just trying to justify it here. It's not his Ozymandias, but it's his Jane moment. It's like his moment of like watching someone. Or something. The point is this is his really destroyed moment, and he not crawl space. I think Jane's probably the apt description.
No, don't say crawl space.
Yeah, it's
That's
obviously
even worse than saying Ozymandias.
I know. It's his Jane moment. The point is Jimmy's absolutely destroyed here, and then he pulls it together, going through what he usually does, back to square one. So back to square one means he keeps doing what he's doing, which is law offices of James McGill. James McGill, and then the door shuts. Really neat. I really like that ending.
Okay. You want to get into final thoughts, or do you want to get into some speculation first?
Yes, promo speculation.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and watch the promo then and give you my live reaction to it. So,
live reaction.
That in mind.
And then they take out my fees.
It's a clear pattern of overcharging, which makes it drug. There are only 3 episodes left this season. You're still in touch with your people. Depends on the type of work you're looking for.
You're shredding in there. Stop right now. I make mistakes.
For a longer look at the next episode, go to AMC.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me put my headphones back in. Sorry. Okay.
So it looks like we're going to an old folks' home. We see a pool.
Ooh, so you're thinking Salamanca, possibly?
Well, no, it doesn't. Oh, I didn't even think of that. But no, I don't think it's that. I mean, I wonder if it'd be funny. Just imagine as a lifeguard or something, or next to the lifeguard on the surface.
I really hope this story with this old lady means something beyond just an episode.
Oh, the old with this old lady. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking. Again, the next episode is called Rico, if I'm correct, and I believe I am. And Rico.
It's called Rico, but oddly enough, it's all capitalized, which leads me to believe it's an acronym.
Well, it is an acronym, Tiki. I have the acronym right here, actually. So yeah. Rico,
what's the acronym? Okay, good.
Well, I told you Rico in the past, from the Dark Knight, and remember it's the whole you're trying the big bosses. Essentially, Rico stands for racketeer influenced, racketeering or racketeer influenced corrupt organization act.
Oh, okay.
So what that means, in a nutshell, I actually have the definition this time.
So that, I'm assuming, is going to relate to Mike.
Let me go through the definition. So,
Okay.
So the definition is basically it constitutes of 2 acts of racketeering have occurred. That's basically the precedent within 10 years, and then you qualify for a RICO case, and basically it goes after specifically the plotters of it. So basically, this is the idea that you'd have all this corrupt crime organizations in the Dark Knight specifically. It's if you can't get the big bosses, this is the way you would get the big bosses, by trying for a bunch of crimes, like more than 2.
Right, gotcha.
Like 2 or more, if they qualify for 2 or more crimes, and there's it's proved to be like a big deal, or like if it's a big case of litigation or something, and it involves racketeering, you can try the big bosses instead of like going for like the little guys.
Okay.
Basically, it's a way of getting like a lot of people off the streets that are within an organization.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So let's just go through the promo really quickly.
So we're in
like I said, I really hope that whatever business we have with this old lady like actually amounts to something.
Yeah. So the question is like if she's behind the racketeering, or if it's relating to the Kelmans, perhaps. Because again, Kelmans are racketeering with that.
True.
That's the question. If it's going to be the old lady or I'm thinking it's going to be the old lady, to be honest with you. I think we're going to go with the Kelmans. I assume it's going to go wrong. He's going to need to step into a courtroom, because I just kind of dropped that hint there. And again, maybe Rico is a double meaning, so maybe this lady's involved and has a rich past. It could just entirely be her, but it could also relate to what's going on with the Kelmans.
If it's just another like goofy client who I don't know. I'm not really digging the senior stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, the bingo scene was fun. It's just, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, at this point, we need direction. We need some sort of focus for the show to go in, and I'm not seeing that.
Well,
and I especially didn't see it for this episode.
Well, let me say this, Tiki. I don't think it's going to be a one-off. I'll tell you why. Because I think just the way it was sold in the promo to me makes it seem like, because it seems like this is a big case, this Rico thing. It's going to be a big case, and that this old lady marriage, like, there's shredding going on and stuff. So I'm thinking like this is going to be this is going to be kind of like our placeholder, not placeholder, but kind of our little taste of stuff maybe to come, perhaps like in season 2 of like with old folks like Mr. Salamanca, of like this old lady must have like a huge past or like a crime or something behind her.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
That's the direction I think it's gonna seed in the idea of like the unsuspecting having big secrets, which of course relates big time to Breaking Bad. And you got like Gus Fring, Walter White, all these unsuspecting people with big, or even Mike. Look at Mike, for instance. I'm saying I think it's gonna be. I think that'll be the theme of Rico, because Rico is kind of like big connections. It's kind of what Rico means in a nutshell. So perhaps that's what it means. Also, we get Mike at the vet. So remember that vet has connections to people.
That's exciting. That's the most exciting thing in the promo, for sure.
So again, there's that. So Mike may ask him about his friends. So again, I think Mike's going to play a big role in that. So I think connections are going to be the big theme of next episode. And I think
you're onto something there.
And I think that old lady's going to be more than just a one-off. Again, she might be a little bit of our taste into the world of kind of like our big cartels. And
it'd be interesting if she was like kind of like the intro into kind of like whatever's going to be the conflict that ends this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. And also we get a thing, man. There's a bit where like she's shredding. It looks like she's shredding files and stuff, and Jimmy's ejected from the place.
That's true. That's true.
I think it's gonna be a big deal. I think she's gonna come back, and just again the premise of like she's been like a cat lady, and she's just like an adorable cat lady. Said, "Oh, I have Oscar and Felix," but no, maybe she's like a large criminal past.
Okay.
So
I can see that. If she turns out to be a major character, I'd endorse it. We're still on Twin Watch. No twins.
That's very good. I look, at the very least, I think I'm gonna say they're gonna use them sparingly, like Skinny Pete and Badger.
Skinny Pete. Yeah, I get. It's just it threw me off because they were so prominently used in the first 2 episodes.
I'll tell you.
And I really thought that they were going to be like a flavor of the show, and now that flavor is just missing.
Well, to be fair, they have to be out of commission for at least 6 months. Remember?
That's true. No, that's very true. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed by that, but I hope at least in season 2 they come back and are kind of like at least major supporting characters.
I'll call this. I think season 2 obviously are going to be bigger, probably bigger and have more appearances in season 2, obviously. But for this season, I'm gonna say I think because Jimmy's going through a lot of stuff right now, because he's dealing with a lot of stuff with he's starting to get into elder law. Apparently now he's in the hole more than ever. It would seem, or at least he's back to square one. And with all the kettle and stuff, I think he's just been distracted from that. And I think either we're going to see him still recovering, or maybe past recovering if we jump ahead a little towards the last episode, like either last episode or last episode before is when we're going to get probably last episode is when we're going to get a taste of like little glimpse of the twins coming back. I was saying, hey, you, we need you for something.
Or what if the twins try and sue Saul?
Well, they can't sue. Remember, they had to explain like in the honeypot and everything.
Oh God, that's true. That's true. Okay.
I think he's going to use
that stupid. I don't know.
I'm going to suspect that once Jimmy finds his niche. So I'm wondering. Here's a big thing to speculate on before we go.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to get him forming the business by the end of the season?
No, I don't.
Okay, so no, we're not going to have to see the Saul. What about not a post credits, but like kind of like our big ending kind of like thing to end on for the season?
I think it would be possible if maybe the ending scene was either like a flash forward to the Saul Goodman era, or maybe even kind of like a bookend to Gene.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get into the Saul Goodman era this season. I think maybe season 2 is going to... Like, I think this season is kind of more laying out the groundwork for our new characters and everything like that. I think season 2 is kind of going to be more where it's going to be building the, building the stepping stones to Saul Goodman.
Yeah, I think regardless, we're definitely going to get at the end of this season, or definitely at the beginning of next season, we're going to get like a glimpse at the either a time jump or something, like a little tease to the Saul, but like a big stronger tease, like we see the building or something.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
Or maybe like just a shot of the Statue of Liberty being inflated. That'd be cool.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I'm saying like something a little more concrete than this stuff in getting the opening. Like we see like Jimmy. I'm saying we see. Jimmy
I'm not saying something in the opening. I'm just saying like literally the last shot in season 1 could be just the Statue of Liberty inflating, and it's like, oh, we know what that means.
I'm thinking like what was the last shot of like the season, so like him like walking up to bed. We don't see his face. We just see him like he's walking up to the door, opens the door, he closes it, and like he blocked the sign at first when he's walking up there. Then we see the sign. It's blocking his face. Basically, not better. Yeah, actually, Better Call Saul. And then basically, he flips the sign or sign that says like "open."
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm saying like, what if that either that is a glimpse, or like we either jump forward or something, or maybe we sync back with the whole Gene thing, and then we have like kind of like Nacho stopping by.
Well, I think that's a good transitioning point. Let's talk about Nacho. When the hell is he going to show up again? Because that's kind of pissing me off.
Again, it made me think about Nacho because he kind of pointed out that Nacho's plan in this episode of like the no recourse. So I think it might be a little foreshadow for Nacho coming back soon. Like if not, here's an idea. If Nacho somehow could have gotten wind that Jimmy had all that money and he thinks he screwed him out of the deal, and then he'd be after him.
Yeah, I mean, I think something like that has to happen, because this is why I'm frustrated with the series as a whole, is because, we've established all these things, and yet they're using them so sparingly. The whole thing is kind of a mess, in my opinion.
Now, to be fair, they're only going 10 episodes. It is official 10 episodes.
Yeah, but look at Bates Motel.
True. But then again,
look at Game of Thrones.
Now these guys know they're coming back for season 2.
I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones, but my God, Game of Thrones is so highly regarded by so many people, and they only have 10 episodes in the season. I think, this season is full of good episodes on their own. In terms of an overall story arc, I just don't see it. It's just not there to me. It does not exist.
Well, let me tell you. Let me speculate this. I think Nacho's going to come back in the fray within the last 2 episodes. So I think next one is. I don't know.
And that's frustrating to me.
Like, what if this old lady store just opened the idea? Okay, there's a crime, a lot of money involved, perhaps, maybe money involved, and then Nacho's going to catch wind of that, and he's going to try a horn on this one, so he can go a little further.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Nacho is going to be involved with the end game, but it's just frustrating that he's just been dropped like this for so long.
No, he will.
I don't know. It's to tell you the truth, BlueDragonFive, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this at this point, but I mean, as you can tell, my enthusiasm for this show is kind of down a little bit. It's like I almost feel like those first few episodes were a little bit of a bait and switch.
I'll tell you what I think. I think Mike is going to mess with your mind a little. Not the character. I mean the known from the episode. I think it's kind of. I'm getting a sense this is all around the boards on this. I've seen the articles and people going bananas over how awesome, and it was awesome. How awesome the Mike scene was from our.
That whole episode was fantastic.
It was
by far the best episode of the series.
It was, and you'll notice it was light on.
And it was also the episode that had the least Jimmy McGill in it, which is a problem.
I think maybe it's just kind of sidetracked us from stuff, and maybe. As great as that plot line was, I mean, I'm not saying nothing for the world. I would never want to get rid of that. I'm just saying, I think it's kind of. I think
it tied up a little too nicely. I thought.
Well, no, I think
it just tied up with a nice little bow. Like, okay, that's the end of that.
No, I think Mike's gonna be around because he helped out in this episode. I think he'll obviously.
No. I'm not saying that Mike's not gonna be around. Of course, he's gonna be around. I'm saying the Philly cheesesteaks aren't gonna be around.
I think that what if they brought the Philly cheesesteaks back, but it was in season 2? What would you feel about that, or would you want it to be?
Yeah, that's fine. It just kind of bothers me that literally, like, they advertised this episode as that was going to be like a major point of, that was going to be a major threat to Saul was being arrested with Mike, and then it literally gets resolved in the cold open in like the first 10 minutes. That bothered me.
Well,
stuff like that inherently bothers me.
Well, remember, if there's any hope for the maybe there might be an additional thing with the Mike story, because again we still need to see we still might see that scene with the daughter and interviewing with them. Maybe he'll accidentally give them something to work with, and they have to.
That's a good point.
So I'm saying. It wasn't Breaking Bad style, there's always that kind of scene, like the scene is mentioned, then we see it unfold, like the whole, like the Jesse with the box or something.
What's in the box? Yeah.
I'm saying there might be like a something like that going on. So we'll see. There might be like an additional scene with that might kind of maybe hint stuff for next season with Mike's thing going on there. But we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. So I guess at some point, sorry. So I think the Mike stuff was good. It's just kind of distracted us from our plot, which might just
it's just weird. I don't know. It's like we have the Kettleman thing, and you seem to think the Kettleman thing's going to come back. I think it's pretty much wrapped up. And that's kind of my problem. It's just sort of this awkward thing where it's like we're introducing plot lines, we're dropping plot lines. There's just no through line to this whole thing.
Oh, do you think we've been spoiled by that great Mike episode in terms of like we just got something that was so Breaking Bad, maybe it was too much?
Yes, I do. I think that's a very inherent problem.
So maybe it was just we got too much like a shot of we had too much of a shot of Breaking Bad that kind of maybe overhyped us for the rest of this. Maybe it is good. Maybe we're just not seeing.
And I also feel the same way about Tuco being involved in the first 2 episodes. I feel the exact same way about that.
And I think they're gonna when Nacho gets back in for I think Tuco is not gonna be far behind.
I mean, I'm hoping because it's like I wasn't expecting Tuco to, be in every episode, but I was expecting him to be in more than one.
I'm just expecting Tuco to be kind of the Jaws of the series. Like when he's there, you're going to be
that is a good analogy.
So I'm thinking like Tuco's just gonna be the Jaws of the series. Like when you least suspect him, then he's gonna pop up. So I'm gonna say that. Tuco. So I think whenever he's gonna show up, we're gonna love it, and he's gonna steal the episode.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I guess overall, should we go overall thoughts or should we tackle our quotes?
No, we'll talk a quote at the end. I mean, I've pretty much said my overall thoughts. There was just like nothing in this episode in particular that jumped out at me at all. I mean, there were some nice scenes. I thought the bingo scene was pretty funny. Had a couple good laughs. We got some good development on Chuck, and I guess the best thing I could probably say about the episode is just how hilariously inept the hold on, let me get it. Just how hilariously inept the Kettlemans are. That was comic gold for sure. And I like the mouthed thank you to Kim. That was a nice moment. Overall, I just found this episode to be really lacking, and there was nothing to really latch onto. I don't find the plot moving forward at all. A lot of the criticisms I have for this episode, like I said, kind of stem from criticisms I have with just the direction or lack of direction that this series has had so far. So I guess that's my final piece on it.
Well, for me, overall, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think in comparison to those, I think you're kind of, I'll agree with you to an extent. I think in comparison to the other episodes, it probably is the weakest. I'll say that. I think it is the weakest so far of the episodes. I don't think it's bad, and I know you're not saying that either.
let's do the Pixar comparison. This is Cars 2.
No, I don't think it's... I think this is more Brave.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Brave, not Cars 2. Come on.
Oh, God.
Point is, and this episode, I thought, going into it, I thought it was solid, nothing as remarkable. But rewatching it again, I saw some really more glimmering elements I really did like. I think it's I think we're stronger in the episode of Second Watch. Again, there's the great scenes like with Chuck and the ending I really liked. And again, just overall is him with Kim. So I mean, I think I liked it more. Rewatching, I think it's solid. I thought it was solid stuff, getting our plot moving. I think it did move our plot forward in terms of, like, the ending is where Jimmy is at with the money. So I think it did move our plot forward with that. It kind of closed some plot lines and kind of, well, again, potentially we can't even say close yet because we still get 3 episodes left.
Yeah, I just think, like, I keep saying this. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I just, at this point with 3 episodes left, we should know what the end game is, and the only thing I can assume is that it's got something to do with Nacho, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't even know that much. It's really just everything's up in the air, and that's, I find, to be a problem when you only have 3 episodes left. I mean, let's just look at Breaking Bad. Like, let's not take season 1 into consideration because that's basically half a season, but in each one of those seasons, by the time you got to the last 3 episodes, you can't tell me that you didn't know what the end game was for those seasons.
I'm trying to think if there's an example where it wasn't the case, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I'm going to run through them real quick in my mind. Okay, 5, obviously. 4, yep. 3.
Okay, let's see.
We'll put a pin in 3. 2 is obvious. Yeah, 2. You're.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about 3. 3.
Well, no, 3. I think by the time we had by the time we had 3 episodes left, the third to last episode was Half Measure. So what was the one?
Right. Yeah. It's for some strange reason I keep thinking of 3 as 2 because I really like those 2 together. But 3. You're right. Yeah, 3 is definite because it has the great. Even with the titles, are fantastic. Half Measure.
No more half measures, Walter.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. Like, might be a first for them. Maybe they'll sell us on in the end. We don't know. Maybe
I don't consider that first being much of an upgrade when it comes to, like, knowing, I prefer to have some sort of structure to my seasons.
Yeah. Well, again,
I'm going to say it. Gotham has more fucking structure than this.
Okay, come on.
There, I said it.
Okay, at the very least, look at it this way. So, again, Season 1, Breaking Bad, you agreed that Season 1 didn't have much of, like, a 3-episode prediction because it was a short season, right?
Well, yeah, because it was short. But let's see, even then, the end of Episode 3, I believe there's 6 episodes total, right?
7.
Or 7. Okay, so Episode 4 would be Gray Matter, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5 is Gray Matter. Can't remember.
I think it's 4. Because Gray Matter's the one that's right after the Bags in the River.
Yeah, I love Bags in the River.
Okay, so by the end of Gray Matter, you still know the freaking end game. You know he's going to be making meth. You don't know about Tuco, really, granted. So, I don't know.
I kind of just look. I'm gonna real quick. Just gonna wrap up here. I disagree with you on the season 1 having like that little wrap up. So I'm thinking I might kind of repeat that with Better Call Saul. It's their first season, a little bit of exploratory. They're setting their stuff here. Zoom works. I think it's gonna be. It's just them testing the waters, exploring stuff. So I think they're going to build towards some stuff, and knowing they have a season 2, they probably got some stuff worked in for that. But so I think it's just more of a wait and see.
I mean, that's another thing is I feel like knowing that they have a season 2, that gives them even less of an excuse to have a less coherent season 1. Because what you think, knowing they have a season 2, they would know what to build to? I don't know, BlueDragonFive. I'm not saying that we haven't gotten fantastic episodes from this series. I'm just saying...
Hello? Tiki? Sorry, folks. I think my compatriot here is a little frozen. I'm gonna try a riff here for while he's still frozen. So yeah, and I guess in a nutshell, just what he's saying. To be honest with you, folks, I think we just need three more episodes. Personally, I wish it was 13 episodes. I think it would kind of alleviate all our issues here, but we don't. But I got faith in these guys. I think they have more strong episodes than not. This one was just it was solid with good parts that hold up better on rewatching. In a nutshell. So yeah. But Tiki does have some actual concerns here. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to be happy with whatever they give us. So we'll see with that. Still riffing. All right. Yeah, he'll be back momentarily. Let me just try to see where we can go here. So when we come back, we're going to delve into the Saul Goodman quote of the day because of the episode. Because we love Saul Goodman, and he's had so many great things to say. Because folks, Saul Goodman. We're gonna get back to the moment he returns. So yeah, again, this episode to me, was really solid. Again, just the emotion really comes through on Jimmy. You see Jimmy going through some legitimate struggles here, and again, I think that will definitely tie into where we ultimately end up with Saul. It's interesting. He's looking into it here. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. Never mind. We'll talk about that some other time. But Tiki is back. He is on his way to being back. There he is. Oh yeah, yeah. I can hear you, Tiki.
All right, I apologize.
Yeah, we're moving on. I wrapped up my stuff. We can move on to the hat. I will talk them through the hat.
You talk them through the hat?
Yeah, and I think I summarized your point accurately, so I think we're just moving on to the hat now.
Okay.
So, we love Saul Goodman because, Saul's good, man. So we're going to go into our favorite Saul Goodman quote from Breaking Bad here.
All right, and this week's quote of the week. Oh my God, you really are a great chemistry teacher. I was terrible at chemistry. I'm more of a humanities guy. There we go. All right, so that's all for now. We'll be taking a temporary recess. Until next time.
Remember, kids, when you get that phone call, make it count. Better call Saul. Saul Goodman & Associates is the one-stop shop for all your legal needs.
And with that, we are adjourned.
We totally be lawyers.
Totally be lawyers, man. We could totally be lawyers. We have the sue and the tie and everything. We could totally be lawyers.